Good morning. We're out here at the 22nd Annual Governor's Luncheon, and it's your hosts, Rahil
and James.
And we're about to show you some of our distinguished guests at the Governor's Luncheon. Let's pass it over to James and see what he has to say.
Well, we're going to take a look at the crowd here and see if we can find some awesome heroes to interview out here. All right, it looks like I've actually got someone here. So, will you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do for scouting here?
My name is Wayne Crow, and I'm a scoutmaster for the after-school program, and I'm excited to be here.
So, can you tell us, this isn't your first Governor's Luncheon. We're on the street. Okay, what makes you come back year after year to this?
Because it's exciting. It's exciting to see all the people that show up to support scouting. I think that's the amazing thing, the fact that this is, the 22nd year?
Well, our theme this year is superheroes, heroes start with us. I want to ask you, if you could choose a superpower that you could have, what would that superpower be?
The superpower would be, I guess, to wave a magic wand and make everybody come together and enjoy scouting.
That's a pretty good superhero, I have to say. Well, awesome. Well, it's been awesome interviewing you. I really appreciate your time, and we're hoping that you enjoy the rest of your experience here at the Governor's Luncheon. Thank you. Let's go check out and see what we've got. See what we got going on around here. If you look around here, we've got all of these people that are getting ready to have a seat and enjoy what we've got going on. All these guest speakers, heroes, everything in between. I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Rahil here. He's got a guest for us, and see what he's got to say.
Well, thank you, James. Here we have Jonathan Nolly, one of the sponsors of our event with St. Vincent. Well, Jonathan, can you share a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with scouting?
Absolutely. I was a Boy Scout growing up for several years, have always felt that there was a tie to the character you build, you learn, that you earn as a Boy Scout, when I've been able to transition to my role as a healthcare administrator and now as the CEO of St. Vincent.
Of course. So, is this your first Governor's Luncheon, and how long has St. Vincent been a partner with the Boy Scouts of America?
We've been a partner with the Boy Scouts of America for years. Prior to myself, my predecessor, Vince Capone, other greats within our organization, Dr. Michael Busk, as well as others. But this is my third luncheon and is our second as the sponsor.
Wow, that's great. So, with the theme of Heroes Start Here, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, that's the ability to bring about peace throughout the world.
Wow, what a noble superpower for a superhero like yourself. Thank you so much, Jonathan.
Rahel, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good to meet you.
So I think we should say hi to some of the other guests. Sure.
Wait for him to walk up here real quick. We have Asif Bade. He is the co-chairman of this event right here, so we're going to go ahead and come on over here to him. Hi there. Hi. Well, like I said, this is Asif. He is our co-chairman. We're glad to have him out here this morning and afternoon-ish. So, Asif, tell us a little bit about why do you support scouting? What is your passion behind the scouting program here?
Sure, absolutely. I think mentorship is so important in young people's lives. From a young age, I was blessed to have lots of mentors that have helped me through life, and I continue to have great mentors. So I think scouting is just the ultimate program for mentoring.
I can agree with that statement. If you could choose, to stick with our theme here, if you could choose a superhero, I'm going to put you on the spot here. It doesn't have to be Superman, Batman, anything like that, but if you could choose your own superhero, who do you think it would be?
Sure, I would probably say my biggest superhero has always been my dad. My dad came to America with very little. Worked very, very hard and always kind of implanted that gene of hard work in life. And I still kind of listen to him today. So
I know that's a big thing for us in the scouting program. A lot of it is having parents involved with everything in scouting here. So we really appreciate all of the parents that are being mentors and heroes to their kids as well. Well, I appreciate you letting us interview you here and asking you a couple of these questions. I know we're excited to have you for this event, and appreciate your support. So, thank you. All right, let's see where Rahil has gone off to. We're going to go right this way. We're going to walk all over here.
like we'll be interviewing Mr. Victor Smith, who is going to be an incoming council member for the Crossroads of America. Actually, we'll be interviewing Mr. Ed Benosh with the Boy Scouts of America. Well, hello. Hi, so would you like to share a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with scouting?
I'm the CEO of CNO Financial Group in Carmel, Indiana. I got involved with scouting at this level because of the importance of youth development and the leadership skills and life skills that scouting teaches. We need those in business. We need them in all parts of our community.
Thank you. With the theme of the heroes and scouting, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I'd want to fly. Superman.
Well, great. Thank you so much for your time and supporting the organization. Thank you.
All right. So I've got Steve Bastard here. Butcher the name there. I apologize. He's our incoming council president, so we're excited to have him here. Steve, tell us a little bit about, some of your exciting moments that you're looking forward to as you come into this program with us.
Gosh, I think there's a lot of excitement around having a new incoming executive director. Patrick did such a great job for us that, just to kind of continue that momentum, we've got the capital campaign on board, so it's an exciting time to be part of this program with the full family of scouting as well getting started, so it's exciting times.
That's good. I know there's a lot of incoming things and new things that are coming with us, and as I've continued through the program, I'm definitely excited to see where it goes. You're here. Is this your first Governor's Luncheon, or have you had more before this?
Oh, no, I've been here for several years. Yeah, so this one's exciting, though. This is the first time that I've had to get up on stage and present, so I'm excited about that and just hope that we can do a great job of raising a lot of funds today. That's the goal.
Yes, definitely supporting the scouting movement and everything in between. So, well, we appreciate your time, and we're going to go ahead and move on to Raheel over here and see what he's got to say, and enjoy the luncheon. Thank you. I'm going to turn around the camera.
Hello. So here we are with Mr. Dave Ricks of Eli Lilly and Company. So, Mr. Ricks, would you like to share a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with scouting, being a fellow Eagle Scout?
Sure. Well, I got in scouting like a lot of other boys as a Cub Scout. Went through Boy Scouts, was an Eagle Scout, and now I'm active in our troop because both my sons have been in Scouts. My oldest is an Eagle, and my youngest is working on it. So it's a lot of fun. Yep.
So how is your organization, Eli Lilly and Company, getting involved with scouting and supporting the narrative of the Boy Scouts of America?
Well, we've been involved in scouting for a long time, actually. We used to have a troop at Lilly, actually. And now we have 3 Explorer groups, and we're talking a lot about the STEM scouting program as a way to get youth involved in STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, and setting up a lab for that. So it's an exciting time. It's Lilly for scouting. Yeah.
That sounds like a great initiative. Parallel with the theme of heroes and scouting, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I'd like to know more about everything around me. So that would be the superpower I'd go for. Knowledge.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Raheel. We'll pass it off. I'm going to go ahead and fix my cord here. I want to introduce here, if you want to introduce yourself to us and make sure we know who you are.
I'm Bob Palmer, the past council president for Crossroads of America.
Well, very good. Well, we're glad to have you here. Now, I have to ask you, what keeps driving you forward in the scouting program and your continuation, even as you move forward in different positions here?
Well, scouting was so important in my life growing up, and it really made me who I was. And so I think it's important that we try to do that. We have to give back to the youth of today and make them have the same experience.
So you're doing great things for us in the program, I have to say. But if you could choose a hero, in anywhere, even if it's Batman, Spider-Man, or just some common person, who would you think it would be?
Well, this will tell how old I am. I grew up in the 60s, so my hero was Superman because he was an American that fought for truth, justice, the American way. So
I can get behind that. I'm much more of a Batman fan, but you know what? We'll let our parts be aside. Okay, fair enough. Well, I appreciate your time and everything that you're doing for the scouting program, and I know we appreciate the opportunity to let everyone know who you are. And we're going to go ahead and pass it off and see what the crowd's looking like before we get started here.
Thanks for doing this, and good luck today.
Thank you. All right, let's check out and see what we've got going out here in the crowd.
Rahel Tanawala. So, welcome, First Lady Holcomb. So, how did you get involved with scouting, and why are you here at this event to support the scouting and with the governor?
I was involved in scouting as a Girl Scout, and then my mom was actually a troop leader for Cub Scouts when I was growing up. So we always had Cub Scout meetings at our house. So I got to kind of watch those from the background, I guess, and just have always thought that both Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts have great programs for youth and great opportunities for kids to develop, to try new things, which I think is always important, and throughout life, to always kind of push yourself and push your comfort zone and expand your knowledge. So, yeah, I think that it's a tremendous organization.
Well, thank you for that amazing response. Well, parallel to the narrative of having heroes in scouting, do you think there's heroes in scouting, and if so, who are your heroes?
There absolutely are heroes in scouting, and one of my heroes is Anna Hudak, who put together this entire amazing event. Anna's a good friend of mine, and she is an incredible young woman, and I'm so proud of everything she has achieved and how she has supported scouting in the central Indiana area.
Yeah. So, if you could have a superpower, what could it be?
If I could have a superpower, oh my gosh. I guess it would probably be really cool to be able to fly like Superman. Yeah. You could avoid traffic jams easily that way.
Well, thank you for your continued support from Scouting. Thank you.
All right. Well, then we're going to go ahead and sign off for now and check out the opening and show and see what we've got going. So please keep watching and let us know what you think in the comments or questions or anything like that.
Trustworthy, loyal, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and right.
My favorite superhero is probably Dr. Strange.
My favorite superhero is Superman, because I grew up in the 60s.
I'm going to have to go for Captain America.
My favorite superhero is my mom.
My favorite superhero is my father.
Wonder Woman. I really like Elastigirl from The Incredibles.
Hulk.
Probably Rick Wolverine.
My favorite superhero would probably have to be Captain America.
My favorite superhero is any man or woman who is willing to lay down their life for their fellow citizens.
My favorite superhero would have to be a scout leader from when I was a kid named Art Lang.
Captain America he was someone who was normal and became super normal. And if anyone amongst all the superheroes would have been the most likely to be an Eagle Scout, it would be Captain America.
And Superman stood for truth, justice, and the American way, which to me is exactly what Scouting stands for.
When I think of the term superhero, I think of loyalty. I also think of inspiration and encouragement and motivating someone to do something better or do something greater.
Superheroes to me have always been people that sometimes they were ordinary people, but they were people that had the ability to change lives, to make things better.
I think what makes someone a superhero is somebody that sets the example, whether you're young or old, that you might follow or you might want to emulate.
Well, I think superheroes are all have, of course, strengths, as we all do, but what makes them super is they overcome their weaknesses.
They always think about what's most important for the other people.
Scouting, you could almost say, in some ways, sponsors superheroes.
Scouting, yes, definitely has superheroes.
I do think scouting has superheroes.
The scout leader who encourages the kid to do better, or even the scouts who can inspire those of us who are older in accomplishing tasks or overcoming obstacles. Those are really, truly superheroes.
They don't do what they do for fame or for glory, but rather for authentic service to help other people.
You know, a lot of the people in this room today are superheroes in scouting.
I think there's a lot of superheroes in scouting. It's probably a lot of troop leaders that you've never heard of that spend a lot of time and mentor and lead their troops to do great things.
I believe scouting has superheroes because of what they try to teach and instill and pull out as the wonderful things that these individuals have when they come to join Cub Scouts, the Webelos, Boy Scouts, the Eagle Scouts, and all the other wonderful programs within scouting.
Oh yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I think a lot of us are superheroes on kids.
Luck will not bring you success. Only by doing your best will you reach your destination in the end.
Truth, justice.
We need more scouts in the world today.
Welcome to the 22nd Annual Governor's Luncheon for Scouting, presented by St. Vincent. Please prepare yourself for grace as David Emery, Scoutmaster of Troop 286 and a United States Marine Corps veteran, provides today's invocation.
Let us pray. Our beloved Father in heaven, we come to here today to join as a community to thank the service of the Scouts and for the opportunity that these boys receive each day. Gracias por tu ayuda y por la oportunidad que tenemos para estar aquí. Y gracias por el apoyo de esta comunidad que podemos disfrutar este apoyo. Y bendice a los jóvenes que están aquí y que ellos pueden entender que esta comunidad está aquí para ellos y que ellos pueden apoyar su comunidad también. Y decimos estas cosas en el nombre de Jesucristo. Amén. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this year's luncheon. Please enjoy our meal and fellowship, and we'll resume our program shortly so you can learn more about how Scouting is creating superheroes for our community. Thank you.
Are we live? Oh, yeah. All right, so this is Allie, who is actually a new firecrafter. Would you like to share a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with scouting?
Yeah, so my brother and my dad were both in scouting when they were starting at like Cub Scouts, and I really wanted to join Cub Scouts. Obviously, I couldn't. So as soon as I was out of 8th grade and turned 14, I joined venturing, and I've been there ever since.
Yeah. So what does this mean for you? This whole Heroes Start Here event, and how is it parallel to what you've accomplished in scouting?
I feel like the whole meaning of the event is to show that everyday people that may not have these superhero abilities still can be heroic in their own way, and especially highlighting that people in Scouts very much end up being heroes, just not necessarily in what you would generally think of when you think of superhero.
All right. So just one final question. If you could be a superhero, who would it be, and what is the superpower you wish you could have?
Well, for this event, I had to choose a superhero name for myself, and we ended up with Mother Nature because I love all things in the outdoors. And as a superpower, I really would love to be able to fly. That just sounds super cool.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for your time. All right, let's hand it off to James.
Thanks, Rahil. So I actually have one of our hero scouts here. This is Layla Spannenberg. Her hero name is Eagle Mom, which comes from knowing her 3 kids. They're very involved in scouting. So, Layla, tell us a little bit about why do you continue in scouting? I know a lot of it has to do with working with your kids, but what is your passion and drive behind this program?
My passion and drive really stems from the Scout Oath and Law and the fundamental skills that it teaches each and every youth that enters the scouting program. I've done advancement for years, and I love that I get to work one-on-one with each boy to help them, or girl, which will be pretty exciting come near future. But it's exciting to get to work with them and help them achieve and help give them some guidance and direction as they pursue their future endeavors.
Well, that's awesome. I know you mentioned our full family scouting, which we're very excited to have in the Crossroads of America Council and throughout the nation. Tell us a little bit, if you could choose a hero, our theme here is heroes start with us and such. If you could pick a superhero, what do you think your superhero would be, even if it's not one of our generic Superman, Spider-Man, Batman kind of deal?
Really, my superhero is Elastigirl. Somebody had posed that question to me before, and she's the first that came to my mind, and it's because she's so flexible. Because each and every day, you encounter challenges, and you need to be flexible to achieve. So that's my answer.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I'll let you get back to your lunch here, and I appreciate the time in interviewing us. We're going to go track down Rahil, and I think he's got another special guest for us. Thank you, Layla. Right this way. As we go by, feel free to check out any of the tables and all of our guests that are coming through here. All right, Rahil, here you go.
All right, thank you, James. Here we are with fellow Eagle Scout Justin Scott. So, Justin, would you like to share a little bit about yourself and your experiences with the scouting program? As some of us know that you've been with Camp Randsburg for 15 years now.
Yeah, I actually just completed my 20th summer at Randsburg on staff and have worked at the Firecrafter area most of the time. And that's been my main connection to scouting, along with Firecrafter.
So, a lot of us Firecrafters know that Firecrafter is a great program which teaches the youth some of the core aspects of scouting. But how do heroes have a parallel with Firecrafter?
I think every scout who goes through Firecrafter can consider themselves a hero. They typically will overcome some type of obstacle that they haven't done before, whether it's creating fire by friction or tackling the campfire program or giving service. All those things can be difficult for them, and I think by overcoming them, that's where they become the hero.
What does this event mean to you? This has been going on for 22 plus years now, honoring the heroes in scouting. What do you think about this event?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of the Governor's Luncheon. I think it's a great opportunity for people of the community to support scouting. And scouting gets a ton of support, and showing the people of the community what scouting's all about, I think is just phenomenal.
Thank you. And lastly, one question. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I would be able to start fire with the snap of a finger.
All right. There you have it. Thank you, Justin. All right. Looks like we'll be showing it, transferring off to James. See what he has to say.
All right, thank you. So I actually have Tyler here. He's with our Explorer post through the Boy Scouts. And Tyler, if you could explain to us a little bit about what exploring is.
So to me, exploring is really your dedication and loyalty to a group of young men and women. I think it is when you're helping out the community with details and events. Sometimes we have shredded days, and we help out with that. I think exploring is about building a bond and a relationship with fellow people your age or older than you. That's what I think it is.
Well, that's pretty cool. I know it's a program that we have within our scouting program that's kind of a subcategory, and I think it's a really cool program to have. Now, you're with the Police Explorer Post, correct? Okay. Tell us how you are a hero within your community within this post.
Well, I believe I'm a hero because I just do everything I can and strive to make sure everybody's happy and there's a smile on everybody's face. Whether it's putting in community service hours, to just helping somebody on the street with whatever they need help with, or the 4th of July detail that we take care of, make sure everybody's staying safe and we're making sure nobody's doing something bad. And everybody, main thing with us is just safety. We want to make sure everybody's safe and everybody's accounted for. And I think that's really.
Now, do you have interest in continuing forward after you kind of get older in this exploring post and continue forward with law enforcement? Is that something you're planning on doing?
Yes, most definitely. I plan on going. I go to the Army this summer for basic training, but I plan on becoming a police officer as soon as I'm 21, and hopefully stay in Lawrence because I'm a little biased, but Lawrence I think is the best. There's a little bias there, but yeah, I most likely plan on becoming a police officer at 21.
Well, that's awesome. We appreciate your service now. We appreciate your future service and your time to volunteer. So keep doing what you're doing, Tyler, and we're going to go ahead and pass it off right behind you here, off to Rahil. If you want to, more than welcome to grab your seat.
Thank you. So here we are with Paul Luncheon. Would you like to share a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with this program?
Well, my name is Paul Luncheon. I am the Explorer Advisor for the Lawrence Police Department. And how I got started in exploring was in 1978. I was an explorer. That's back when we had dirt roads, by the way. And it was a great experience, probably one of the best experiences I had as a young man. In fact, I would suggest that it was probably the best teenage experience that I had. The life lessons that I received were just numerous. And it led me to one day or later in the late 80s of becoming an Explorer Advisor in Texas. So that's how I got started.
So how would you say, with all your years in this amazing program, how would you say it's good? How would you say this luncheon honors the idea of scouting and the heroes?
Well, it brings prominent awareness to scouting as a whole. And, you know, if this camera had the luxury of just scanning this room and from a panoramic view, I mean, this is a who's who of Indianapolis that's present here, and we all know is you know, I serve not only as a police officer, but I'm also a business person. And as a business person, you just cannot discount when a person's looking for a job. You just cannot discount their scouting career. You just can't. It's foundational to the development of young people.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time. But one last question: if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
A superpower? Oh my mercy! You know, man, you caught me off guard. I think I grew up just adoring superpower heroes growing up, and I always liked the ones that had the mask because it's something like invisible. You could do good deeds, and no one really knew who you were, and it just really fit into my Catholic upbringing. You know, doing good deeds without people knowing who you are.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, and good luck to you.
Thank you. All right, looks like here at the luncheon, we'll pass it off to James again.
All right, so I have Mick Keller here. He's now remind me, what was your position? You're president of a woodworking company, correct?
Central Indiana Woodworkers.
So yeah, that's a very good place to be. Considering word on the street is that you built 11,000 catapults for our program. Is that correct?
All volunteer members did that on their own time and at their own expense.
Well, that's awesome. I know volunteering is something that Scouting is very passionate about, so we really appreciate your time and interest in that. What motivates you to, help assist our program and everything that we do?
our club is committed to making a difference in children's lives, and we think to have a child become a part of a scout is really a good thing for our society.
That's good. I know scouting is definitely something that has impacted me, and I tell you what, we built all of those catapults and put them all together through more volunteer hours, through our ordeals and rituals and things. And it was you made our job easy. I know that the job for you had to be a lot harder. Was there any challenges that you faced putting all those together in such a large scale?
What we tried to do was tell our story about what difference would make in children's lives. We actually had more volunteers than we needed to get the job done. So we got done ahead of schedule and below budget.
That's even better. Now tell me, our theme here is Heroes Start Here. Tell us a little bit about who do you think are heroes in scouting? You know, what do they do to better our program in general? And do you have a hero that you can think of off the top of your head?
Sure. His name is Pods Miller, P-O-D-S. He was my first scoutmaster, made a difference in my life, led me to Order of the Arrow and those kinds of activities. And so I've always been thankful for Pod's influence on my life.
Now, do you mind telling and sharing with us how long you've been involved with the scouting program?
I started at age 9 and quit when I got married in 1962.
Well, we appreciate the time and service that you've given to us, and all of the work with the catapults. I know those were a great opportunity, and the kids loved seeing them, just watching them do that program. And we're going to go ahead and move on over to Raheel, but I appreciate all of your service and continuation.
We thank you for the partnership with the Scouts.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and turn this camera around and work our way on over to Raheel. We're going to go right this way. We're going to move up front here. So at this luncheon, we have over 2,000 people here to support scouting and see how things work. And I know within this program, there have been people that range from CEOs of companies that are out here to visit us, to individuals of troops, to parents, to our program staff. And everyone here has a key role in the scouting program, and we definitely appreciate their time. All right, Raheel, here you go.
So here we are with Grant Michael of 12 Stars Media, and believe it or not, he actually did all the production, the production videos for this amazing event. So would you like to share a little bit about why you volunteered to do this and what it means to you?
Sure. First, I was only one of the people on our team that is responsible for the videos that we're going to see here today. As far as why we decided to get involved, I think it's really important if you have the means to support organizations that are doing really, really good things for at least our community and the world at large, that you do that. And so this is one way that we saw that we were able to get involved and help make the world a little bit better place.
Sure. So I guess with the theme of this event, if you could be a superhero, which one would you be?
I've always had a soft spot for Spider-Man.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again for volunteering, and thanks. All right. Looks like we'll be seeing who else we can volunteer next. It looks like all the guests at this event have been super enthusiastic and been willing to donate their time to come during this event. Here we have the mayor over there. I'm good. How are you?
All right. Give me one moment here. All right, Lucas. So Lucas, correct? That's your name? Perfect. So we hear that you're a lion cub, right? Do you want to do me a favor? Can you give me your best lion roar? I have to say that was awesome. I know. Do you like Cub Scouts? Can you tell me your favorite part? Do you know your favorite part of Cub Scouts? You think about it for a minute. What about going camping? Do you like camping? Camping's fun?
Yet.
I like camping too.
Building fires.
Building fires. That's my favorite part too. You got to be safe though. You got to be careful. All right, Lucas. Well, I really like your tie and the outfit you got going on for this this event. It's definitely a suit and tie event, and I think you pulled that off well. We're going to go ahead and move on, but I appreciate your time. Thanks, dude. Got a trail with the camera here. Here we are, Rahil. We pass it off to you.
Okay, so here we are with the Joe Verheim. He's actually a district chair. But would you like to share a little bit of how you got involved with the Boy Scouts of America program?
Well, I'm an Eagle Scout myself and been involved as an adult leader, and both my boys are Eagle Scouts, and I've been in scouting about 30 years now.
Wow, that's impressive. So what have you learned in those 30 years, and how does that apply to what currently is going on with the 22nd Annual Governor's Luncheon for Scouting?
Well, it's all about giving back and about leadership, and I'm the district chairman for Pioneer District and hosting a couple tables today, and I've got some folks to come in and support scouting.
So what do you think about the whole theme of Heroes Start Here in Scouting?
Well, I think that's great. I don't think anyone starts out to try to be a hero, but I think we are a hero in most people's eyes of the things we do, and that's exciting. That's why I do it.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Yep. All right, it looks like we're going to find some more guests who are passionate about scouting. All right, looks like the awards are about to start. All right, I think we're about to sign off. It's been Rahil.
I'm James again.
And thank you so much for tuning in with the Governor's Luncheon.
So you got to keep watching, though, because we got some awesome programs that are coming up after this. So comment, like, share, all of the in-between, and let us know what you think of our 22nd Annual Governor's Luncheon.
Welcome back to the 22nd Annual Governor's Luncheon for Scouting, presented by St. Vincent. Please welcome Luncheon Co-Chairman Awesome Benet and Jonathan Nally.
Originally, they wanted us to climb on zip lines to do this. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the 22nd Annual Governor's Luncheon for Scouting, presented by St. Vincent. My name is Jonathan Nally, and alongside my great friend Asif, we are incredibly pleased to be serving as Luncheon Co-Chairman again for the second year in a row. There's something about hero stories that have become a deep, long-lasting part of our culture. Superheroes are America's modern icons, defenders of justice, reflections of who we are, and most importantly, who we should strive to be. Today, we especially want to welcome and recognize some of Scouting superheroes who are with us today. Governor Erica Holcomb. First Lady Janet Holcomb. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett. Distinguished Eagle Scout Jim Morris, who is the honorary chair of today's luncheon. His Excellency, the Consul General of Japan for Chicago in the Midwest. Adjutant General Carr of the Indiana National Guard. There are a number of other dignitaries, superheroes, and elected officials throughout the room here from the city and the state as well. Welcome to you all. Today we're trying something different. We're hosting a Facebook Live viewing of our Governor's Luncheon for Scouting. As you enter the ballroom today, or while you ate lunch, you may have met two of our Eagle Scout correspondents, Rocco and James. We have viewers from near and far tuning in to learn more about Scouting here in Central Indiana.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It's good to be here for the second year in a row. Today, we would also like to recognize additional superheroes for Scouting who embody different Scout slogans. Do a good turn daily. First, today, we would like to recognize those among us who have given themselves in service to our nation, our veterans, active duty service members, guardsmen, and reservists. Please stand to be recognized. All your sacrifices and daily good turns have helped keep our country safe and free. Thank you. Be prepared. Would our 40 steering committee members please stand and be recognized? No arm twisting was required. This group has been preparing for this luncheon for months now by securing table hosts and lead gifts. Thank you to our steering committee members. Scout Strong, with our 210 table hosts, please stand and be recognized. Most of you are here today because the table hosts invited you. Table hosts are the muscle to keeping this luncheon strong. do your best. A special surprise recognition to our steering committee member of the year, Charlie Hiltunen. Charlie, please stand. Charlie is an Eagle Scout dad, scout leader, council volunteer, and community leader. He has done his best and recruited more than 51 guests to attend today's luncheon. Thank you, Charlie. To help other people at all times, Jonathan and I are pleased to announce that Rafael Sanchez from Indianapolis Power and Light and Patrick Sells from the Sells Group have agreed to co-chair the 2018 Governor's Luncheon for Scouting. Please stand and be recognized. As superheroes have changed over the past century, so have the faces of Scouting. To tell us more about Scouting in Central Indiana, please help us welcome to the stage past Council President Bob Palmer and incoming Council President Steve Biscard.
Thank you, Jonathan and Asif. You gotta love that music, right? That gets you fired up for this thing. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We want to give a special thanks to St. Vincent as our presenting sponsor of the luncheon. This is the third year in a row, so I'll have a nice. I'd also like to thank Asif and Jonathan and their entire steering committee for their hard work to make this one of the most successful Governor's Luncheon for Scouting to date. Thank you. So Asif and Jonathan, you probably remember last year we couldn't get your recognition gift in through the metal detectors because it was a hatchet. So this year we're playing it safe and had some custom-made bobbleheads. So check those things out.
I also want to add my thanks to Asif and Jonathan for taking this on for 2 years and carrying on the tradition. It's a wonderful event. Spider-Man said, "With great power comes great responsibility." Earlier this year, you may have heard our prior Scout executive, Patrick Sterritt, received promotion to serve as Chief Operating Officer for the National Boy Scout Council. We all wish him well. The best part about this is we now know somebody in National. That can get us what we need. Right, Joe? We both had the opportunity, Steve and I had the opportunity to sit on the Executive Selection Committee and are honored to introduce our new Scout executive, Joe Wiltrout, who is joining us here today. Joe comes to us from St. Charles, Illinois, where he is currently serving as Scout executive. He, his wife Sarah, and their 3 children are looking forward to moving to Indiana. His son is already a huge racing fan. Joe, a big warm Hoosier welcome to you and your family. We can't wait for you to get here. In the superhero universe, superheroes come in every size, shape, gender, and culture. This is an exciting time for Indiana, and it's been a great year for Scouting. Our volunteers and staff have worked hard this year, and we are proud to say that we are leading the nation in membership growth. More than 34,000 youth in Central Indiana are positively impacted by many Scouting programs you will learn about today. And I have to say, none of that would be possible without all of you in this room today. So thank you. In your program book, you can read about our Hero Scouts, but we'd like to introduce you to them as we cover this year's highlights. Hero Scout Lucas is a lion. You heard his super roar earlier in the program. He represents our new Cub Scout kindergarten program called Lion Cubs. We are currently serving more kindergarten-aged boys than any other council in the United States.
On to our Boy Scouts. Hero Scouts Ashwin and Matthew represent our Boy Scout program. Eagle Scout Matthew comes from Troop 358, chartered to St. Alphonsus Ligoria Catholic Church, which has a 94-year history of quality programming and leadership development. Matthew is a great example that Scouting welcomes youth of all abilities and can have a positive impact on their life. Ashwin is a member of Troop 112, chartered to Carmel Lions Club. Ashwin recently earned his Eagle Scout rank, but states his scouting story is just beginning.
Hero Scout Alley represents our venturing program, which is a high-adventure leadership program for older youth that has been co-ed since 1998. Allie's older brother and father are Eagle Scouts. Allie joined venturing as soon as she was old enough because she knew she wanted to be part of the Boy Scout program. Most recently, Allie's crew has sea kayaked at Pimlico Sea Base and whitewater rafted on the New River Gorge.
Next, we have Hero Scout Tyler representing Exploring, which is a co-ed workforce development program for older youth that's been in existence since 1971. A revitalization of this initiative has been wildly successful, as it now serves more than 1,000 youth. Strong high school and corporate partnerships are key leading indicators. Tyler is a Lawrence Police Explorer. When asked about the program, Tyler says, "You lift while you climb." Tyler hopes to be a police officer someday.
Hero Scout Juliana represents our STEM Scout program. It's no surprise that her superhero name is Jewel, which means a measure of energy. We could use that here today. There's a lot of energy in this.
One for the walls.
We just entered our third. We just entered our third year of the National STEM Scouts pilot and have more than 500 co-ed youth grades 3 through 8 engaged in the program. Her most recent module in her STEM lab was learning about drones and coordinating the drone race.
Hero Scout Vicar represents Reaching for Tomorrow, which is a classroom-based character education curriculum. A healthy 20-year partnership with the Girl Scouts of Central Indiana, which serves more than 10,000 students learning Scouting's values and important life skills. Victor, aka the Green Helper, is bilingual and often helps his teachers and other students with translations. He says, helping others can make a difference. Just like superheroes have evolved over the past decade, Scouting will continue to evolve. In the next 2 years, we are really excited to welcome the full family into our Cub Scout and Boy Scout programs.
Looking back, my favorite superhero was my Scoutmaster. Now, if you asked me today who my second and third grade teacher was, I couldn't tell you. I can't remember. It's an over 60 thing. But I can tell you my first den mother was Mrs. Sanders, and my first Scoutmaster was Mr. Rhodes. A superhero sets that example you want to emulate, and my Scout leaders set that example for me. For today's program, it was absolutely necessary to recognize the adult volunteers as heroes in Scouting. Without adult volunteers, Scouting would not exist. They provide the framework, the grit, and the heart for the best leadership development program. At this time, if you have served as a volunteer in Scouting, please stand and be recognized. You are the heroes for our youth. Let's learn a little more about Scouting volunteer heroes. Eagle Mom isn't an official volunteer position within Scouting, but it may be one of the most important roles. Many of us are fortunate enough to have been able to credit our mothers for several of the good things we accomplished in our early years. My mom was my Eagle Scout hero. Without a few pushes from her, I probably wouldn't have made it. Hero Scout Layla Spannenberg says prior to 2011, she thought roughing it was staying at a hotel without room service. She's probably didn't stay at JW back then. There is a place in scouting for everyone. She knew if she wanted to continue to have a strong relationship with her boys, she needed to take an interest in what they enjoy. She was determined to be a successful scout mom. Layla's sons, Alex and Ben, are both Eagle Scouts, and youngest son, William, at age 14, is well on his way. So William, keep going.
Firecrafter is an honor organization started locally in the 1920s. The ideals of Firecrafter are friendship, leadership, and service. Firecrafter teaches youth how to become a better scout. Hero Scout Justin Scott has led the Firecrafter area at Rainsburg Scout Reservation for the past 15 years. He states the Firecrafter program clarified the importance of giving back to scouting and the next generation of scouts. Justin has dedicated his entire life to youth education and is currently a science teacher at St. Luke Catholic School.
Scouting's founder, Lord Robert Baden-Powell, said, the most worthwhile thing is to put happiness into the lives of others. Hero Scout community leader, our council president, Ed Benach, is a shining example of sharing happiness and cheerful service with others. Ed often says, to go fast, go alone. To go far, go together. Ed is a true example of leading with scouting ideals through his community service. Thank you, Ed.
Well, now we have a really special opportunity with the St. Vincent's generous luncheon sponsorship to present the St. Vincent Spirit of Caring Award to a scout or leader who has demonstrated St. Vincent's core values, such as commitment to those in need, respect and compassion for the dignity and diversity of life, integrity, wisdom, creativity, dedication, and displaying the Scout Oath and Law while performing Scout activities. Hero Scout, Scouting Leader Wayne Crow is this year's St. Vincent's Spirit of Caring Award recipient. Please turn to the video screens to learn more about Scoutmaster Wayne.
Scouting is one of the greatest organizations in the world. It did so much for me. And one of the things that I never forget is where Scouting started and how it started. And so I felt as though these boys deserve the same opportunity that Mr. Roberts had given me and so many of the boys back then.
Today we're spending a little time talking about Wayne Crow, but you can't talk about Wayne Crow unless you talk about Luther Roberts.
I had my same scoutmaster through the whole tenure at Boy Scouts. His thing to the boys, whether they were scouts or non-scouts, they even stand up in the room and he would say, wasn't afraid to say, well, a scout do that. And it made you think, and even today I think about that. When I'm doing something just in general, I think about, would he be proud of what I'm doing? And that meant a lot to me then, and it still means a lot to me now. He made sure that, everything that I was doing, being from a family without a father, that I was growing into the right young man that he wanted to see me grow into.
When I think of Wayne, I think of somebody that lives with integrity, lives by the oath and law, constantly giving back.
And as I saw some of the problems with the youth and single-parent mothers that didn't have time to do what scouting could do for them, then it was time to step up to the plate and do something about it.
He just took an all-African-American troop to the National Jamboree this past summer. On his birthday, he hiked up, I think about 5 miles to a program area and came back.
Mr. Wayne, are you tired? Yes, Mr. Wayne is tired after this trip.
I mean, this guy is living the dream and giving back to our community, a community that so desperately needs black leaders, African-American leaders like Wayne, to step up and fulfill their role and give back to what has been given to them.
Would St. Vincent CEO Jonathan Nally and Scoutmaster Wayne Crow please make their way to the stage for the award presentation? Wayne serves as a Scoutmaster for Troop 123 and provides guidance and mentoring to the 7 primarily African-American troops in Indianapolis. Through Wayne's leadership, scouting in this area has grown from serving 25 scouts to well over 100 scouts. Wayne has ensured that the scouting program is not only growing in quantity, but quality. Wayne can often be found in the lobby of the Scout Service Center planning for their next outing, such as horseback riding, a camp out at Randsburg Scout Reservation, the Governor's Camp Out for Scouting, and most recently a trip to Philmont Scout Range. Wayne is also working with the first group of Scouts as they prepare for the Eagle Scout projects. A mentor is a person who sees more talent and ability within you than you see in yourself and helps you recognize your full potential. That is the role of Scoutmaster. That is Wayne Crow. As we present the St. Vincent Spirit of Caring Award to Scoutmaster Wayne, please help us celebrate scouting leaders everywhere for all they do for the youth in our community. We have a special surprise for you today. Some of your scouts and parents wanted to share a message with you. Please turn your attention to the video.
Mr. Wayne is very kind and he's very demanding and funny.
When Mr. Wayne came on, I mean, I really felt the change in Boy Scout.
Wayne is an awesome guy.
I love Mr. Wayne. I felt as though I was really working with a scout that was experienced, that really knew all the tricks of the trade, that really knew all that stuff that we read in the Boy Scout Honor Book.
When I first met Wayne, I immediately could tell that he was very passionate about scouting, that he was very passionate about young people, and particularly inner city youth, and that he really truly cared about the scouting program.
He is so selfless. When you think in terms of superheroes, they go and they dedicate their life to serving others.
Wayne is a no-nonsense guy, I mean, in a lot of ways, but I think they respect that he has high expectations for them to succeed and to learn that things aren't just going to be handed to you in life and that you have to earn the things that you really want.
He just became like a mentor to me and like a father figure.
What I learned from Mr. Wayne was that I learned not to be selfish with my food, and he taught me how to build a tent.
We learned how to respect when somebody's talking. He taught me how to fix tents.
They learn what being a man is about. They learn a lot of great leadership skills from him.
He has taught me a lot about scouting and other things out of scouting. Taught me do good deeds even when people's not looking.
Brother Wayne is good at recognizing skills in our young men and being able to develop them.
I would like to say to Mr. Wayne that he's a very kind person.
I would tell him that thank you for letting me go to Boy Scouts. Good job.
I would like to say to Mr. Wayne that he has been the best Boy Scout master that I've ever had.
I think Brother Wayne was just very instrumental in that, and that it also gave him a platform to say, this is what I've done, this is what I've earned, and this is my chance to give back, and that other kids know that they can do this, that they can become an Eagle Scout and grow up to do even greater things than that.
You are worth a million men. I wish we had more people like you in our community, in our families, and in our circles. So thank you so much for all that you have done and continue to do.
I truly, truly thank you from the bottom of my heart, man, because you are a special guy, and we would not be able to do any of this without you.
His smart
his smile, his happiness, everything about him is a superhero.
When I think of this Spirit of Caring award, I think of you, Wayne Crow. We want these young boys to become great men just like you, Wayne. You're a great friend, you're a great scouter. I love you and I appreciate you for just giving of your heart and soul to those boys and to this community. Thank you, Wayne.
When we think of words that we use to describe superheroes, we think of dedicated, helpful, selfless, doing the right thing, good, bold, normal people who make extraordinary decisions. Wayne, you are my superhero. You are a superhero to hundreds of youth who are just starting their scouting journey, and you've helped make them pick the right path. And as I said in the opening video, we need more scouts in the world today. You're helping to make that happen. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to welcome Hero Scout Allie to the stage to introduce our next speaker. Allie.
It is my privilege today to introduce distinguished Eagle Scout David A. Ricks. Mr. Ricks joined Eli Lilly and Company in 1996 and currently serves as Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the Board. We share a lot in common. I am currently a freshman at Purdue University, and Mr. Ricks earned his Bachelor of Science from Purdue. We both love high adventure. I recently sea kayaked at Pamlico Sea Base in the Outer Banks, and Mr. Ricks recently went on a hiking trek through Philmont Scout Ranch. We both selected Captain America as our favorite superhero. I personally think he's the best because he was not born a superhero, but rather he was chosen to become a superhero based on his worthy merits. Mr. Ricks thinks Captain America is the best because he is a superhero most likely to be an Eagle Scout, and he loves Eagle Scouts. So please turn your attention to the video for a special message from my friend, Mr. Ricks.
Thank you, Governor Holcomb, for hosting this year's Scouting Luncheon, such a special time on our calendar. There's many reasons Scouting is important to me and my family. First of all, it's personal. It's part of our family history. It's part of our family presence. So I've got two boys, one who's been through Scouting, he's Eagle Scout, and one who's a second-year Scout in a troop, and two Cub Scouts. I was an Eagle Scout. My father was an Eagle Scout. It's an important part of the connection between generations of our family, so that's important. I've also seen how Scouting can transform our youth, and I've seen that firsthand. Boys who come into our troop and really struggle to be productive early, but are leading the troop as leaders, as Eagle Scouts, as having achieved real things, and their confidence, the way they sit up, is totally different. And then I think, as we think about our community in Indianapolis, Scouting's played a big role. It can play a bigger role. We need more Scouts. Because it's such a healthy way to teach folks to give back to their community, to service and helping others. Well, so many leaders in central Indiana, community leaders, have gone through Scouting. Mark Miles, my former boss, John Lecklater, Jim Morris, we all know well from this event, and Bob Eichertz, who just won our Distinguished Eagle Scout Award, all great community leaders who've impacted not just Indiana, but well beyond in a global sense, and so proud to be a part of that group. All of our success here in central Indiana is really built on the generosity of our community. Scouting is not a money maker. It needs the support of generous citizens like all of you. So in order to grow, we're going to need more of your support in times ahead. Please consider giving generously to the Crossroads Council in Central Indiana. It's now my pleasure to introduce Ed Benash, our outgoing chairman of the council here in Central Indiana and Crossroads Council. He's done a great job. Of course, he's retiring from his day job as well, but we want to thank Ed for all of his passion, his contributions, his hard work to really advance the agenda of scouting in Central Indiana.
Thank you, David, and thank you everyone for attending today. As David said, I'm the president of the Crossroads of America Council. It's my honor and privilege to serve in that capacity. I'd also like to take time to give my thanks as well to our co-chairs, Jonathan and Asif. Outstanding job. You're superheroes as well. Also to our table hosts, our steering committee members, and also want to extend my welcome to our incoming Scout Executive, Joe Wiltrout, and congratulations to another superhero, Wayne Crow. Thank you. I want to thank 4 other additional partners who made today's event possible. Boom, Bam, Pow, and Super. So, Capital City Container Corp's president, Rich Purcell, is a longtime scouting leader and provided today's Indianapolis cityscape backdrop. Boom! Sells Group founder Patrick Sells provided today's photographer, and also you heard he's going to be co-chair next year. Bam! 12 Stars Media is a partner with Scouting and has provided the videos you've enjoyed today. Pop! JB Graphics provided the design and printing for today's luncheon theme. Please help me thank these superheroes for Scouting. Super! You also received in your packets our Hero Scout trading cards. And you can be a superhero for Scouting by giving one of these trading cards to someone who you think would be interested in joining one of our Scouting programs and roles. These are conveniently made into business-side cards so that you can carry them around with you and share Scouting opportunities with your friends, family, and colleagues. As David mentioned in the video, Scouting can transform our youth, and it's a healthy way to teach youth to give back to others and to the community. The success of Central Indiana is built on the generosity of those in our community. And today we ask you to also be a hero for Scouting through a financial pledge to our Council's 2018 Friends of Scouting campaign. Friends of Scouting provides nearly a quarter of our operating budget, with a significant portion of that going to 14,000 low-income or special needs individuals. Each of you will receive a pledge card from your table host with a suggested gift amount. We ask everyone to consider a minimum pledge of $400. I know that many guests contribute at a much higher level, and for that we share our thanks and appreciation. Last year, our highest personal gift was $25,000, and the average gift from all of our guests was $775. Your pledge can be paid today or anytime in 2018. Many donors are taking advantage of the strong stock market to donate stocks. So if you choose to do that, we have a way to do that. And just estimate your donation level and indicate donation of stock in your card. And there's an additional stock gifting information that the table host can provide in their packets. So table hosts, please distribute your pledge cards, and after your guests fill them out, collect them in your envelope, hold them high, and give it to a council staff member as he or she comes around to your table. We're going to take a short break. You can devote your time to filling out the pledge. Thanks.
Can I go ahead and fill yours out? In fact, I insist. I insist you fill mine. You know, I was in that 1997 soccer game. Baltimore. I was a medical. That's how I learned.
So if everyone can please turn in their pledge cards, and again, table hosts, raise your hand high when your envelope is filled. Thank you everyone for your generosity and your support of Scouting, which is invaluable. I'm now honored to introduce today's keynote speaker, our own Governor Eric Holcomb. Eric is the 51st governor of the state of Indiana, and prior to his election, he served as Indiana's lieutenant governor, was a trusted advisor, former governors Mitch Daniels and now Vice President Mike Pence, as well as an advisor to the Director of National Intelligence, our own Dan Coates. Governor Holcomb is a veteran of the United States Navy, graduate of Pike High School in Indianapolis, and of Hanover College. He's an author of Leading the Revolution, a book detailing his experiences with leadership and executive management. As a lifelong Hoosier, of course, he's a basketball player, and he has shot and made, may I say, a jump shot in each of our 92 counties, and I think he's going to make one before the 2021 NBA All-Star game here, too. Governor Holcomb and First Lady Janet Holcomb announced that Scouting is one of the youth serving programs that they were going to support, and that's more than just being here today. The governor has hosted Scouts at his office, and in their front yard, they've hosted the second annual Governor's Camp Out for Scouting, presented by the Indiana National Guard. And it's rumored that our First Lady raced more than 10 Boy Scouts on the ING obstacle course and smoked them. Even the first dog, Henry, is an honorary scout. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming today's keynote speaker, our Governor, Eric Holt.
Thank you, Ed, and to all of those who had a hand in putting together today's luncheon. As I was just reminded earlier, as you were too, it turns out that the governor's security detail was a little lighter than the vice president's. Jonathan and Asif, I trust a belated hatchet is better than no hatchet at all. I too want to recognize and congratulate Patrick Sterrett for his promotion to COO of our National Boy Scouts, and welcome Joe as our new Scout Executive. Well, good afternoon to one and all. I've really been looking forward to this event, a chance to address the Boy Scout group, as Robert said, that increased membership more than any other in the country. And we're all now part of the single largest fundraiser for scouting in America. That's worth giving yourself a round of applause. The fact that you all are here, who represent the heart of Central Indiana, that really says it all. You know that better than anyone, that Boy Scouts are much more than hiking and camping and fishing, as important as those all are. They're really about character and community, country. And it turns out about the stock market too. But what I want to talk about with you briefly this afternoon is about the character and community and country. Heroes start here. Start here. You couldn't have picked a better theme. And the Boy Scouts have been developing heroes now for over 100 years. Former Scouts have worked in and served in the Oval Office, have worked in and served in and walked in the halls of Congress, led major businesses and universities, philanthropies, made major discoveries, even walked on the moon. And each of them, every single one of them, took their first steps to leadership in the Boy Scouts. What they learned was less about following some magnetic compass and much more about the moral compass. And that, to me, is the essence of the Boy Scouts. They develop heroes and leaders by instilling character and values that are the very wellsprings of leadership. Unfortunately, today, those wellsprings are in danger of drying up. At least they're experiencing severe drought. We see it on the sidelines of too many sporting events, not from the kids, but maybe from the adults. We see it on college campuses where some try to shut up or shout down those with whom they may disagree. We see it in the harassment or mistreatment of our neighbors. The big sore point with me is at times we see it increasingly in our politics. There is too much shouting and not enough listening. Too much finger pointing and tearing down. Not enough finding common cause and working towards common solutions. Too many politicians reflexively saying an idea has no value because it originates or comes from an R or a D. This my way or the highway, this take no prisoners approach is both dangerous and counterproductive. In fact, it prevents us from making progress on so many fronts regarding the real issues that we need to tackle, whether as a state or a nation. President Lincoln warned us nearly 160 years ago when he said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." A house divided against itself. And solving today's divisions might even task his eloquence, his genius. But if I can make a modest suggestion, there is an essential value to and for bringing people together. A value fundamental for anyone who wants to be a hero or a leader. And we need to recover it. It's civility. Civility doesn't mean we cast aside our differences, but it demands that we listen to and respect people, their ideas, different points of view other than our own. An organization called the Institute for Civility in Government provides, I think, a pretty good definition. They say, and I quote, "Civility is about disagreeing without disrespect, seeking common ground as a starting point for dialogue about differences, listening past one's preconceptions, and teaching others to do the same." There's another definition that I like, even though it doesn't explicitly use the word civility. It's the Boy Scout law. It goes like this, and many of you in the room know it, so feel free to join in. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Think about those characteristics. Virtually every one of them has meaning only in relation to others. You're not trustworthy or loyal, helpful to yourself, but to others. Friendly, courteous, kind, the same. We tend to think of bravery as a personal attribute, and it can be, for sure. But the most powerful examples of bravery have all to do with serving and saving others. My point is, you cannot obey the Boy Scout law and be uncivil. It is impossible. Embedded in those values is being open to another's point of view, hearing people out, being tolerant and treating with respect even ideas which you might adamantly disagree with. And civility isn't just an end in itself. It's about forging a team, truly taking advantage of diverse talents and ideas, being effective and getting things done. Vigorous debate over tough issues doesn't make us weaker, it makes us stronger. It's essential for finding that best path among many. It's no coincidence that the motto of the most successful country in history, our country, is e pluribus unum. E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. The more we live by that creed, the more we can unite people, the greater our chances of continuing the progress that really has been the hallmark of our state and our country for over 200 years. It's not just because that life is better when you're not trying to tear each other down, but to be effective, to take the state of Indiana to the next level, requires everyone digging in. The Scoutmaster Minute says it best when they teach lessons in the way of a story. As a former Navy man who cannot fit into his former uniform, I want to share a story from Admiral William McRaven, Navy SEAL and former head of U.S. Special Operations Command. In a commencement address at the University of Texas, Admiral McRaven shares 10 lessons from SEAL training that can help someone change the world, as he puts it. One is the importance of working well with others. He describes how during training at the Naval Base in San Diego, students are divided into boat crews. The crew is 7 students, 3 on each side of a small rubber dinghy, and a coxswain to help guide or steer. Every day the crews have to paddle through the surf off of the coast and then continue on for several miles. To some, especially maybe our scouts, that probably sounds like fun, except the surf is cold and it gets as high as 10 feet plus. Here's how Admiral McRaven describes it. He says, and I quote, "It's exceedingly difficult to paddle through the plunging surf unless everyone digs in. Every paddle must be synchronized to the stroke of the coxswain. Everyone must exert equal effort, or the boat will turn against the wave and unceremoniously dump back on the beach. For the boat to make it to its destination, everyone must paddle. You can't change the world alone. You will need some help. To get from your starting point to your destination, take friends, colleagues, goodwill of strangers, and strong coxswain to guide you. If you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle. Boy Scouts, if you want to be a hero or a leader, find someone to help you paddle. And that's where, exactly where, civility comes in. If you're civil, you'll increase your chances of finding friends and allies and mentors and partners who will help you succeed. That holds true whether you're trying to earn an Eagle Scout patch or change the state of Indiana for the better. In scouting in Indiana and in the United States of America, we are all in the same boat. Like many of you here today, I believe a key to achieving goals is focus. That's why as governor I'm focusing myself on 5 pillars that I believe that we need to take Indiana to the next level. But I'm still convinced that these goals will remain elusive unless we have as many people as possible digging in and paddling together. So I'm going to make respect for others, civility, an unofficial 6th pillar. Hoosier legislators of both parties, and especially of myself. And if you ever think I've crossed a line, call me. The issues we face are too important. The stakes are too high. There's not a moment or an idea to lose. Being civil toward each other will not erase our differences, to be sure, but it may help us. It may help us keep our compass pointed to not what divides us, but to solving our common problems. Earlier, I quoted from Lincoln's House divided speech. It's worth remembering that he gave that speech during his campaign for senator in Illinois, a race that he lost. After he said, quote, "I'm not bound to win, but I am bound to be true." Boy Scouts, if you want to be a hero or a leader, stay true to the Boy Scout oath, to the Boy Scout law. Stay true to yourself. When you come across people with ideas different than your own, don't dismiss them. Hear them out. Be civil. You will be stronger for it. And so will we. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Governor. Truly words to live by. You, First Lady, are both superheroes to not just Scouting, but the state and the country. And as a superhero, want you to be able to continue to fly above the fray, lead our state in keeping with the Scout oath and law.
Here to see this. Now, Ed, one last thing while I still have the floor. I want to recognize Mr. Civility, or Mr. Pope, as we saw your superhero status at the notch. Under Ed's leadership at CNO, you all have just become a wonderful corporate citizen, a real model for everyone in attendance and everyone who knows just how in the trenches that you have been. It is also personally a major contributor to the city and the state, serving in various high-profile leadership roles for a number of community-minded organizations, including the Boy Scouts Crossroads American Council. This capital city and our state are much better places because of your contributions, and I'm just honored for so many friends and what has become our Hoosier family to present you with Sagamore of the Wabash, given the Hoosiers have provided a civil service to us.
How do you follow that? I'm my breath's taken away, humbled and honored. Thank you. I'll have our speakers come up and join me. technical difficulty. No matter how bad things get, something good is out there, just over the horizon.
On my honor, I will do my best.
I shouldn't be alive unless it was for a reason. I know what I have to do, and I know what is right.
To do my duty to God and my country.
The strength of this country isn't in the building of brick and steel. It's in the hearts of those who have sworn to fight for its freedom.
To obey the Scout law.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
To help other people at all times.
Life doesn't give us purpose. We give life purpose.
To keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
I'm here to fight for truth, justice, and the American way. Thank you for attending the 22nd Annual Governor's Luncheon. For Scouting, heroes start here. Enjoy the rest of your day and happy holidays.
Look forward to next year.
Can I go up and meet the governor? All right, it's Rahel Thanawala, and we're here at the 22nd Annual Governor's Luncheon. We're signing off, and thank you, everyone, for supporting us. You can donate at the Crossroads of America Council website. Thank you, everyone. Signing off. Have a good day.